Hi, this is Becca.
And this is Kyla.
And you are listening to Chatterbox. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. The more interaction that we get online, the more we can grow our following. We love you guys. To our new or returning listeners, we literally cannot do this without you guys. So, thank you for your support and for listening. Please email chatterboxcorner@gmail.com if you would like to give us feedback or if you would like to be a future guest on our podcast. We would also love to hear submission ideas. We can add that also to our topics that we will get to eventually. But that's it for our announcements. So, without further ado, we are just going to get into our very exciting episode for the day. So, we're going to be talking about the cost of living in other countries. We're also going to talk about healthcare and college. And we're going to talk about how this corresponds to you as an American citizen. So, we're going to talk about, for what countries, for each country, we're going to go to one country on each continent, basically. And we're just going to talk about, what's required for you to move there because there is a lot going on in on our continent currently. And it's very concerning. And my TikTok algorithm has been flooded with, uh, what would it be like for you, an American citizen, to move to Canada? What would it be like for you, an American citizen, to move to Mexico? And I was just thinking, like, it's very informative. It's very interesting. It's not like I'm going to be moving to another country because I have a family and I have, my son, my husband, and I know that they are not going to readily accept wanting to move out of the country. But a girl can dream, anyways. I would love to move out of the country, but I just feel like Eric would like literally never be comfortable with it.
If I could get everybody in my whole life that I love, I think I've said this so many times to people before, actually. If I could get everybody, here's a couple people, like my family, like my mom, my brother, my niece and my nephew, my all of them, and even like my closest friends. Oh God, if we could all just move to like another country and get the fuck away. Like, I'm just kidding.
No, I would love that.
That would be cool, but nobody has the money to even move. It's like just getting the plane ticket out of the U.S. that in itself is hard for them.
And I'm pretty sure that as a U.S. citizen, even if you have dual citizenship in places, you still have to like pay taxes. It's ridiculous.
Forever to the U.S.
Yep.
I've seen that.
The U.S. sucks in terms of their taxes.
And they're like, even you have to pay taxes to the country you're living in and the U.S. still.
It's ridiculous. Like, the IRS is a greedy motherfucker. Seriously. Well, actually, it's just our government in general, because I know that they're all in on it. Anyways, I guess we're going to get into our first country, and our first country that we're going to be looking at is Canada. We're going to talk about how this corresponds to you as an American citizen, what's required to get a visa in these countries, not just Canada, and other countries as well. We're also going to break it down for you what jobs are available for you, what colleges are available for you, but we're also going to talk, real shit. You're going to have to learn another language also for some of these countries. It's not going to be like easy for you to just like move to Mexico or like move to Tuscany or like it's not easy at all. As an only an English speaker, I seriously wish that I was like bilingual. Because people who are bilingual have such like an upper hand on everybody else.
I feel like everybody that's not in America is fucking bilingual.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, I mean, I know some Americans are bilingual. I'm sorry. Some of you are bilingual. I took a class, but I never really, I can say some things. I took French, but I still don't know how to say, like, full sentences.
Yeah. I was good at Spanish in high school, but like I didn't like
Retain any of it.
well, I didn't like further myself like after high school. I was just like, well, I'm in college now. I'm not going to take Spanish. Like
Yeah.
I was really good at it though. I loved it. But I feel like if I would have like went further with it, I could have. But I don't know. I'm very jealous of people in other countries who are bilingual or even people here.
Languages.
Like that's like first of all, it's really smart. It's a boss ass bitch move.
Especially if someone's talking shit and you're like, and then you start saying it back in language, and then they're like, oh.
I think it's smart as fuck. I wish that I had this ability, but
That was random thought.
yeah, we're going to basically talk about what is the average cost of living in Canada. It's around 2,600 per month, and Toronto is even more expensive. So you're talking like $3,000 a month in living expenses. You would have to earn a minimum of like $40,000 to $60,000 a year in order to live in Canada decently. That's like to live comfortably. So I would
Canada's expensive.
Yeah, I would say that Canada is very close to like what the United States is in terms of like living expenses. For a single person per month, the average cost of living is $1,330. And that's without rent. I was talking about like food, gas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
A family of 4 average monthly cost is around $4,700, and that's without rent. This is all according to an article. This article was written by Enoch Amalulu. And he wrote it in December of 2024, so this information is very current. But I actually got a comment from Reddit on here about this article, and I'll talk about it later. But the average cost of living for a couple, specifically in Toronto, is $3,326. And this consists of the following: $1,900 for housing cost, for electricity, $104, phone and internet, $170. Oh my god. Food cost, around $800. Transportation, $577. Cost of living varies by province. So basically, Toronto, you're looking at like really expensive. Like, oh my
I
god.
bet. I mean, because when you think of Canada, you think of stuff like it's a big city. It's a big city.
It is worth noting that Canada does not charge federal income tax on the first 15,000 that you earn.
Okay, so
At least they get a tax break. We don't.
that's cool.
The U.S. charges tax on everything. They tax you on
Your bonuses.
Yep, they tax you on the money that you earn at your job. They tax you on housing and property. They tax you on the coffee that you buy from Starbucks. They tax you on everything that you're going to find in the grocery store. They tax you literally, like, they tax you when your family has to buy a coffin when you die. Like, shouldn't that be, like, qualify, like, as a tax exemption?
I mean,
Like,
anything they can do to make money.
yeah. The U.S. sucks. That's why I want to move out. But
Well,
it's not.
visit you in Canada.
I don't want to live in Canada. I don't. I honestly
No
feel.
offense, eh?
Canada's beautiful. Canada is seriously beautiful. But I would much rather move to like the UK. Plus,
Oh no.
the accents there are just so.
God, with how much I've heard how dirty London is.
Oh, I want to live in London. There's other beautiful places out there, like Lyon.
Okay.
Like there are other
I've just
beautiful
heard
places.
bad things about London.
I would not want to live in London. No.
It's like, yeah.
Anyways, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Back to Canada. College ranges from like 20 to 30,000 per year. So that's honestly more than what the US is. Because the U.S. college can cost from $4,000 to $20,000 per year. So actually, yeah, it is around the same.
And then the money conversion is it different?
Yeah, what I put the conversion here is
okay.
Yeah, I converted it. But if I am incorrect, please send us feedback and we will fix it.
I was just curious because I didn't know, like.
Yeah, one thing that I do want to say for sure is if I say something wrong and through the research that we're doing, and we're not perfect and I'm not using AI to get this research, I'm doing this research organically, essentially. So if I find some wrong information, if you believe that information is wrong, you can always send us feedback in an email, and I will, on the next podcast, I will recant or say, hey, I was wrong about this information. Here's the correct information. So that is something that I do want to incorporate into our podcast is the ability to accept wrong. So, because I feel like there are podcasts I listen to where I'm like, that's not right. But I mean, I'm not like pressed on like sending an email, but some people are. So if you want to send something, I will look into it. But overall, they say that Canada is more affordable than the US, even though it has higher median cost. But the reason why Canada is cheaper than the US is because Canadian healthcare is free.
I've heard that it says that it can take a month though to get like an appointment and stuff. I think. Okay, so
For the visa?
No. For the healthcare, like even though it's free, it can take a while to get those appointments. I think I actually talked to some Canadian on a cruise about it.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
So like they're on a wait list.
Like you don't just get an appointment like that. You gotta wait to get your appointment. It could be months. It just depends.
Wow.
So even though your healthcare, that's the only thing. The only thing I remember. I didn't get to talk to him much, but I remember that.
Huh.
So I don't know. Don't hold me to it. But I talked to somebody. They told me that.
Very interesting.
I've met a bunch of people from different countries and stuff and states. So on a cruise.
Yeah, basically it's saying that living in Canada to live comfortably, you would need to make, in Canadian currency, you would need to make around $35 an hour and make about $70,000 a year in order to live comfortably.
Really?
Yeah. Is it easy to find a job in Canada? Finding a job in Canada can be easy if you prepare for it and have the proper training. And it also depends on if you are flexible. Since you have no Canadian experience, you must familiarize yourself with your country's recruiting process and work culture. You can be eager to learn, ready to work, and basically just adapt to your new environment in a short time. The cost of living in 2023, this includes housing, amounts to $5,282 a month. And new homeowners in 2023 are looking at $7,000 a month in living expenses total. That's crazy.
That is fucking crazy.
$7,000 a month?
Oh, that's crazy. I hope that ain't true. And like this is how much it would be US. Right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because like when I look at the back of those like things when it says Canada prices, Canada's prices are more, aren't they? Usually.
I guess I don't have the conversion on me.
No. I'm saying like when you're looking at like a product and you're like I'm gonna buy it. Have you seen like the price differences like Canada, US, and then like another country or something? And like fucking Canada's always more expensive. Like
yeah, just I guess in their currency. Yeah.
So I don't know. It makes me wonder. I'm just like I don't know. That stuff always never made sense to me. I guess
for a 2-bedroom apartment in Vancouver. This was in, I guess, for 2025, this was $3,582 a month. My God. I've always wanted to visit Vancouver. I've seriously always wanted to visit there, but living there sounds expensive as fuck.
I hope that's not that damn expensive, or hopefully you can rent something.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything, like including or just rent. That's just rent.
The cost of living for
not just rent, so it's just everything.
Yeah.
So splitting that in half, that's about 1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Hell no.
That's a lot.
I want 600, 1,600. I couldn't do it like that much a month. I won't be able to travel.
Can an American move to Canada easily? The answer is yes. Americans can apply for Canadian immigration through express entry. They meet the eligibility requirements. So basically, you have to apply under the Federal Skilled Worker Program, which evaluates factors like your work experience, education, and language proficiency. So in order to move to Canada, you have to meet also an education level. You must at least have a high school diploma or a college degree.
Can't come to Canada if you don't got it.
Yep. See, most immigration programs require an educational credential assessment to validate your degrees. So after you like get done with college and they want to make sure that you're like smart enough, they'll make you take another test.
Make sure you didn't cheat. Make sure you didn't cheat your ass.
There's also work qualifications. Work experience is crucial for immigration because you cannot move to Canada and not be a part of their workforce. You have to contribute to the Canadian economy in some way or they will not allow you to move there. So you have to be moving there for job reasons, to want to like better yourself in your job. Like
weird.
And a lot of places in Canada still speak French fluently and do not speak English at all. So in certain provinces,
it's impossible that it's like complete French areas. It's crazy to think that there's such a close place to us that where people speak fluent French, not in Paris.
Yeah, it is crazy.
You know what I mean, though?
Because when I used to work at like a call center, I would get calls from people in Canada, and they would be like, do you speak French? I'm like, no. And they're like, please hand the phone to someone who speaks French. I'm like, we don't have anybody who speaks French here. And I tried to learn French on Duolingo for the longest time, and then I got really pregnant, and then I gave up. But I do need to get back in my Duolingo. I've been slacking hard on my Duolingo.
Ling. Anyway.
Most immigration pathways require at least 1 year of full-time work experience in a relevant field to where you will be working when you move to Canada. There are also financial requirements. You have to prove that you can somehow support yourself and your family. Immigration programs require proof of sufficient funds to cover your initial months of settlement. You have to show that you have enough money to support yourself without government assistance. You have to have a Canadian job offer. You have to show proof that your employer is supporting your transition.
So it seems like a lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Was this like this for other countries?
No.
That's what I'm saying. This is weird. Like nothing. Like they ain't nothing. I didn't even have to go into any detail. You know what I mean? Like in this sense.
Yeah,
they don't have rules like that.
Yes, yeah, because I was literally telling Kyla, like, I did the most research on Canada because Canada has, like, one of the most
I've heard that they're, like, dictatorship, right? What is it? Someone said, like, they're, like, what's another word? Like, what's another type of...
Dictatorship?
I said that. Dictatorship. I was just in a different way. But, like, there's another type of ruling where it's, like...
I don't know.
It's an A, so it's an A. Either way. But basically... they have a lot of freaking rules, and you don't really get to choose. I don't really know much about the Canadian government, so
yeah, there's a lot.
I'm just assuming.
There are also additional requirements beyond education and work experience. There are other qualifications that you can do to enhance your applications. Younger applicants tend to score better in points because it is based on a points system. Your age does not disqualify you. But this is literally all according to a Canadian website, by the way. You can find all of this information online by Googling it yourself. Anyways, factors also, such as a previous work experience in Canada, can help speed up your process and chances of success of being able to become a Canadian citizen. So if you've worked in Canada before, which not many of us have.
Yeah, I worked in Canada for about 6 months. Ding ding, what?
It also has language proficiency requirements. So you have to do a standardized language test for international English language testing systems or Canadian English Language Proficiency Index and a test for an evaluation of French.
The evaluation de français.
De français.
The français. What is it? Bonjour, je m'appelle Kyla.
Oui. There are also professional qualifications. So if you have an occupation that requires licensing, such as like a doctor or a nurse, you probably, I guess it says that research your profession's requirements before applying. This will save you time and effort. So if you're a nurse or a doctor or something that requires like a licensing, like an esthetician or something, yeah, you gotta see like what's required to like do that in Canada. And the last thing, oh my God, this is literally number 8. So this is all required in order to immigrate to Canada. You may qualify for immigration to Canada on humanitarian and compassionate grounds. This is for usually individuals facing exceptional circumstances, such as persecution or severe hardships. Strong supporting evidence is needed to establish your case on humanitarian grounds, and this process requires a detailed application, and it also is a longer process.
I know, it's delete this, but didn't you hear about how they're letting people come to Canada?
I saw that in a TikTok, but I didn't see it like on the news or anything.
How they're like I think someone else said that they saw that. Like, I don't know.
I want to verify that information, but I think that
Someone said it's like Handmaid's Tale type shit. I said that reminded me of it whenever I heard that because Canada was the place that people would run to. And then you read that, and I'm like, they applying for the application?
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I'm gonna drink to that because I'm gonna drink to that because I would love to move to Canada, but my man is not for us leaving the United States.
gosh, she will be, and then we're gonna be running in the woods with our kids or the animals.
I'm scared, dude. With everything that Trump is doing, I'm scared. Okay, so I'm really fucking scared because literally the way that Trump is handling things, like the way that he's not allowing people to like be what gender that they want to be as if they're literally hurting anybody. And also the fact that he's like doing this like mass deportation and stuff, like people are getting scared.
Oh, I know they are. Trust me. People are getting really scared. I hear about it. I see people write about it all the time.
People are scared as fuck.
I mean, all of those like plane crashes, you wanted to like blame somebody, like just feel sorry. Like, why do you gotta blame somebody?
I didn't even watch the full thing.
I didn't even no. Listen, I don't watch any of this. This is just me hearing from people. I don't have to watch nothing. I just hear it because people are talk about everything. So I can't help but hear it. So he just be doing shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm scared because I feel like people are going to do stuff that is, people get scared and then they do things that are not good, and they're doing it out of fear, but I don't know. I wish that I could like help in some way. I seriously do.
If people didn't act out in fear and cause riots, why can't people come together and think rationally? Like, that's what they want you to do, basically. At the end of the day, that's what they want.
The U.S. politics is embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed by our culture, by how our politicians act.
No, I don't know nothing about them. I don't watch anything. I'm serious.
I only see shit on TikTok. I don't go looking for it.
I don't even see it on TikTok. It's not in my algorithm at all. I know I could trade what's in my algorithm. Anyway.
My algorithm lately has been hitting. It's been really funny. It's been really funny, really informative. Been learning a lot of girl shit. I'm about to dye my eyebrows, actually.
Oh God, don't do that.
No, it's really good. They dye them like a light brown, and then you don't have to like fill them in. They use like men's, like just for men's, like beard trim or something. Really interesting. I really want to do it. I'm not gonna dye them like a dark color. Like they do it like a light brown, and they don't have to fill in their eyebrows. I'll send you a video.
Okay.
It's really cool. I want to do it, but I have to fill them up because they're like.
I found mine in. I love to.
But I'll show you. I'll show you.
Okay.
But one of the most common challenges that one might face moving to Canada is the complex immigration system. It can be very overwhelming due to the various pathways and requirements. Language barriers may also hinder your comprehension of the documents. Educational credentials can also pose difficulty for many applications. So if you have like a doctorate or something, there's even more paperwork that you have to go through. So moving to Canada means that you would need to pick a province that has affordable living cost. So moving to Toronto and paying like $7,000 a month in living cost, I would say for like the average American, it's probably not really affordable. But you'd probably need to move to like, I don't know. I've always wanted to see Saskatchewan in Canada.
Saskatchewan.
It's Saskatchewan.
Oh wait, and grown-ups, he's like, "What up, Saskatchewan?" What it is.
Yeah.
Like I
don't remember the quotes. I'm terrible.
Like really big muscular dude, and they call him over, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?"
I haven't seen that movie in so long. I don't remember it at all. So this is a quote from somebody on Reddit. I live in a small town and my income is on top of what your live decently range would be. I do not live decently. I struggle to pay my combined monthly expenses for my very modest life. Aside from food, I buy almost nothing, not even my clothes. I drive a 12-year-old used car. My food budget is way below the average Canadian, and I haven't dipped into a food bank yet. I never eat out or purchase non-essential products. Every month is a struggle against growing more debt. So that's what a Canadian said about living in Vancouver. This was on Reddit.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
Curiosity killed a kitty.
Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, they said it's hard to live in Canada. It's hard to live in the USA. Holy shit.
So to get out of this continent.
I would love to.
Okay.
You can't leave. Don't leave me.
Well, I'm not. I can't now. I'm not doing it anytime soon. I want to though. Damn, I moved the state though. I'm moving out of Ohio soon. Who knows when, but it's gonna be in the next 5 years. So hopefully this economy drops. I don't know why I have a deep voice right now. Hopefully the economy drops and or like like prices and stuff. I don't want to leave. Like I said before, I think I've said this before. My rent is cheap as fuck. Alright.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would love to move out of Ohio too, but I just don't want you to leave me because I love you.
Well, you can always visit me 1,000 times.
Yes, only on weekends though because of my job,
No, you would make a vacation out of it.
But I would have to come like every weekend. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you would.
But now we're going to basically end this Canada section with talking about some interesting facts about Canada. And I'm going to be doing interesting facts about every country slash, just continent for the rest of the time. So, some interesting facts about Canada is Canadian banknotes are made of plastic. This is the Canadian currency. So, our money's made out of paper. Their currency is made out of plastic. Interesting. They do this because they think that like the dollar can be ripped up, but their currency can't be like ripped up. You would have to like cut it and like you can bend it and stuff, but like it's not like easily broken apparently.
Interesting.
So
that's cool.
The Trans-Canada Highway is the world's second longest highway. The first place for the longest highway in the world is Highway 1 in Australia. But the construction for the Canadian Trans Highway, sorry, I said that wrong. The Trans-Canadian Highway. The Canadian Trans Highway.
Hey, I like
She
'em.
was a fairy.
Let it go.
The construction began for this highway in 1949 and it ended in 1971. So that took a long fucking time.
From the hippie era. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it was the 60s. I lied.
Yeah, it was the 60s.
Oh, well. Shit. No, listen to me.
Canada has the most natural lakes in the world, and there are 32,000 lakes there.
Oh my god.
That's fucking awesome. I want to see all of
They're
them.
gonna sink one day. The whole place gonna sink. I'm gonna tell you that.
Canada is also home to the world's largest land animal, which is the wood bison. And you should look up this thing because it is a literal monster. Like, these things are huge. The wood bison, they're bigger than a moose. Like,
Mooses are big too.
they're huge.
Moose are really big.
What's the plural of a moose?
Mooses?
Yeah. My brother did that to my youngest brother. So my older brother to my youngest brother goes, "Hey Matthew, what's the plural of a moose?" And he was like, "Meese."
Like geese? Are you joking?
That's serious.
Oh my god.
But he did. But this is what he did first. He goes, "What's the plural of a mouse?" He's like, "Mice." And he was like, "What's the plural of a moose?" It's like, "Meese."
Yeah, no. Mooses, motherfucker. Mooses, motherfucker.
Canada is also one of the world's coldest countries.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes the weather can get to negative 40 degrees below Fahrenheit.
Oh, I know it gets cold up there. Trust me, I know. I know it does.
This next fact is actually very interesting. I did not know this. Quebec is the only walled city in North America. Quebec, Canada is known for its charm, culture, magnificent cathedrals, and French
It's
culture.
completely walled in.
Yeah.
It's weird. Why?
I don't know.
There has to be a reason.
I don't know. I didn't look that up.
There has to be a reason for it.
I don't know. I didn't look that up, but I did find that very interesting that it's the only walled city in North America.
Creepy, kinda.
Yeah. The Canada's Wood Buffalo National Park is larger than the country of Switzerland.
Bam!
That's interesting.
I wonder how big Switzerland is then on a scale. Like, if it's that small then.
I mean, Canada is a really big, it's as big as the United States. Or
How
very
big is that
close.
national park too? I know.
Yeah, I didn't look at the acreage on it, but I do find that interesting.
It is interesting. I just have, me, I have so many thoughts. Bringing all this information to my brain.
The last interesting fact I have about Canada is that 85% of the world's maple syrup comes from Canada. So if you're ever in Canada, go get a fucking waffle.
I had a waffle yesterday.
I've been craving a waffle, but I don't want to do
Waffle
it.
Klaus.
I love waffles.
You always eat there. I haven't had that in forever.
But when I go to Waffle House, I don't get a waffle. I always get I get some weird shit.
There for.
I know, I don't always go there actually. I went 3 months without going. But I love my Waffle House. Oh, and I actually do have one more. Alexander Graham Bell, who invented the telephone in 1876, was 29 years old at the time and a resident of Canada. He invented the telephone.
Okay, ring, Rich. Ring, ring. Oh my god.
Now we're going to get into the USA.
Oh,
We're just going to do some quick shit. I know we all know a lot about the USA. This article was from Forbes in July of 2024. So, pretty current. Overall, Canada is more affordable than the US if you have a higher median income. So if you make about $70,000 a year or $68,000 a year, you can live in Canada and live comfortably.
Oh, I think I make like average, like, I don't even know if I want to say it. It's like half.
No, I mean that's I mean I think I make like $50,000, $60,000 a year. I think between them. Depends on how much overtime I get.
From what I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I should. I should. I think it was like 39.
Hey, we gotta live within our means and
Hey, I've been fine. I'm perfectly fine right now. I have no problem. Well,
um I have problems, but it's okay.
I split everything, so it helps.
Yeah, that's nice. Basically, we're going to talk about some different states and some facts. Hawaii was claimed as the top most expensive state in terms of cost of living and annual expenditure. You would have to make about $55,000 a year to live there, just to live there.
Yeah, they are expensive. I mean, because they have to get everything imported. You gotta think like that's
Yeah.
why they have no choice. Nothing does.
Oh yeah, because there's only a limited amount that you can grow in that climate.
They have to fucking import all the cars, all that crap.
hmm Mississippi stood out in terms of low cost of living. Residents on average spend 32,000 per year on essential expenses such as like groceries and car insurance and
Huh.
yeah, 32,000 a year. Mississippi.
That's crazy. I feel like I don't even spend that much on that stuff a year, but maybe I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
I would say that we probably spend more than that.
If I had to calculate it right now, I spend about $50 a week on groceries, and I have to pay about $550 every 6 months for my insurance.
Every for 6 months? Huh. I
And
need to
that
do
is
that.
actually me going up. It might be a little bit less. It was like different price. It was like it used to be 400. Freaking crap keeps going up.
Huh. While Washington had the eighth highest cost of living nationwide, its residents had about 47,000 in disposable income. So residents of Washington normally pay about $30,000 annually for key expenses. So such as like their mortgage, their groceries, their gas. Massachusetts had the highest annual salary of averaging $80,000 per year, while Mississippi had the lowest average annual salary of $47,000 per year. Hawaii ranked highest for transportation cost at $7,458 per year, a $3,000 difference compared to Rhode Island. This is actually the most friendly budget state for transportation.
Oh yeah, gas. When I checked out gas prices over there in Hawaii, that shit's expensive. I think it was like says like 4.50 a gallon or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for like unleaded. So
Wow.
I have fun with that.
West Virginia residents spend an average of $752 on median monthly housing costs. This is a stark contrast to California, which is the highest ranked state in this category. They spend about $2,111 per month on housing costs. That's average.
That's a lot.
Mhm. Alaska has the highest food prices. So for an average household, you would pay about five, probably actually it's close to $6,000 annually for all of your food. Utah is the least amount, I guess, in average healthcare cost, which is about $7,000 per year. And Alaska led in healthcare cost, saying that it's about like $13,000 a year for health insurance. All depends on the state for the US. For cost of college for USA and Canada, you're basically looking at the same price either way. So you're not saving yourself any money by going to Canada unless you get a scholarship.
Okay. And so it's like the continent is the same. I mean, maybe in Mexico.
Yeah. And then for healthcare for the US, most people average about $12,000 per year, and not a lot of people are paying for health insurance in America.
I don't.
I do.
I don't.
I
Like,
need it.
see, look at that, huh?
Right, so We already know that healthcare in the USA sucks, so we're not going to talk about it anymore. We're just basically going to talk about the last thing before we go into comparison for moving to Mexico. We're just going to talk about some interesting facts about the USA if you did not know these already. I did find some of these kind of interesting. Did you know that the oldest river of our continent is the New River, and that flows out of North Carolina and it goes to Virginia and West Virginia, and it is estimated that this river is between 10 to 360 million years old.
Huh.
Go see it!
That is cool. I didn't know that.
I want to see it now. The USA invented the internet. The USA is known for having the largest market mixed economy in the world. The USA is also known for having high cultural diversity, as the USA also tries to kick people out of their country.
Ironic. Ironic, isn't it?
America, the land of promise, gets arrested, sent back.
Literally everybody here is a freaking immigrant originally.
Yeah, return to sender.
Like the ones that aren't immigrants. Like very. Like, what?
So ridiculous. Anyways, Alaska was purchased from Russia in 1867. I think I learned that in school, but I forgot it.
Yeah, I didn't remember that at all. No, I did not.
The Statue of Liberty was a gift from France in 1886.
I did know that, and the only reason I knew that
Oh my God.
was because I went to New York and I learned about it
Oh my
in the motherfucking museum. And I have one. So if you ever go to New York and you go see the Statue of Liberty, that will tell you because I learned that. That was pretty cool though. Yep.
Yeah.
There was other things I learned about it. Actually, the little flame, it's replaced. The original one is inside the museum.
The Eternal Flame?
Like that's what she's holding. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think something happened to it. I don't remember, but there's a bunch of cool stuff inside the museum for sure.
Interesting. The USA is the birthplace of jazz, which makes sense because jazz makes no sense, but it's awesome. It works.
Makes sense to me.
Makes sense to this booty. The USA has the largest coal reserves. The USA also has more tornadoes than any other country. I thought that was weird. Wonder why that's the case.
I mean, just like I feel like when I heard about, oh my God, when I researched Australia, they have other types of things they have to worry about and encounter in their continent, their country, whatever. So
yeah, interesting. The last fact I have before we go into Mexico is that Yellowstone National Park was the first national park in the world, established in 1872.
I thought I knew it was the first one in the United States, but not the world.
Yeah. That is so cool. I want to go there even more.
I'm going this year. I actually just put my dates in. It's for July. I think July 31st or something like that. I don't even know. Maybe like July or August 15th. I don't know. I forget.
Maybe I can go with you if I ever get my life together.
Yeah, you could come if you wanted. It's only going to be from like a Thursday to you know what I mean? We only miss a couple days.
I would be down.
We're going to go to Grand Teton and Yellowstone. We're not going to go to Glacier anymore because it's so far out of the way, and you really want to if you really want to get to see those places in depthly, you don't want to do so much. It's a 7-hour drive.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of driving time. That's why we didn't do that for our honeymoon.
I want to do it next time. I want to do Glacier separately because there's a lot to Glacier that I want to explore.
Yeah, you would need more than 5 days. You'd have to be there for 11 days.
I feel like I would want to spend more at Glacier. Like Yellowstone and Grand Teton are next to each other, and you can kind of see a lot more in the time frame. So I don't know.
Yep.
Once I realized I was more in over my head doing all three of them. I want to really, really, get to know each of the parks. I don't want to rush it. Kind of like that's why I'm doing only one Hawaiian island instead of two. Because I was going to do 2 Hawaiian islands, and that don't make sense. It would have been too much. Now that I'm doing the research for this Hawaiian island and to do this national park, I need all of these days. I would not know what to do. I need more time.
Yeah, we need unlimited amount of time. That's why
I need more time. I need more fucking time.
Yeah. We need unlimited time to travel, but
yes,
we're not there
that
yet.
way I can just like make a video like this while I'm there.
Yeah.
Like we could just be there. You can just go with us everywhere because you know that's what I want anyway.
That's fine.
I want you to come with me everywhere.
I know. I wish I had the freedom,
that's
dude.
what I want. Well, maybe one day.
All right, now we are going to get into Mexico, and we're going to look into specifically Merida. This is a country in Mexico. This is one of the safest places for an American to move to in Mexico. There are other states that are I guess safe to live as an American, such as Cancun or Campeche State or Playa del Carmen and Puerto Vallarta. I don't know. I'm probably not saying it right.
It's destination.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Puerto Vallarta. I actually have a magnet from his dad on my my fridge from it. Puerto Vallarta.
Huh, very cool. As of right now, average monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Merida is around $515 a month. If you're looking for outside of the city center, you're looking at $435 a month, and this is in American currency. In MXN currency, it's around 8,919, whatever their currency is. MXN. I don't know. Attending the university is around $7,500 for your bachelor's or for your master's. I find that very interesting. The best jobs to live in Merida comfortably are foreigners are at a major disadvantage when you want to find work in Mexico because this is a federal policy that 90% of the workers at a Mexican-owned company must be of Mexican descent. This federal rule does not apply to general managers, directors, or administrators. So, as an American, if you want to go move to Merida, Mexico, you would need a work permit or visa. Working in any Mexican company requires fluency in Spanish. You will have to learn how to create relationships with the people around you. Culture is very important here, and you have to understand that it's a lot more slow paced to live in Mexico than it would be to like live in the USA. There are a few select companies that are American in Merida, and it would be a good place to work, but normally fluency in Spanish is also required at these places at the discretion of the employer. So basically, you could try to apply for a job there, but they could say, oh, but you must be fluent in Spanish too.
Yeah, they can tell you that.
Yeah. So there are also options to work monthly. Sorry. You can work. I can't even speak.
You're cute. You're so cute.
Okay. You can work remotely for an American company, and American salary is way more than MXN. So, um, if you have a remote job and you want to move to Mexico, it's possible. If you sell real estate, this is a very competitive field, but fluency in Spanish is not mandatory.
Oh yeah, that's probably why it's so fucking big because you own a property, a big vacation place, and you don't live there. You can make buku money off of that place, especially if
it's in a nice location.
Yeah, and it goes and transfers from the to US dollars.
Other jobs that you can do as an American would be to teach private English lessons. I'm okay. I'm just gonna stutter this whole time, okay? I'm tired. It's late. It's late when we're recording, and I'm tired. So you're gonna have to deal with it. I'm tongue-tied. But you can teach private English lessons to children or adults. You can do family lessons. You could also do online lessons. But you will also need a TEFL or TESOL certification, and this job is very popular for Americans because apparently this certification is not that hard to get. So if you want to get it, Google it.
Google it.
Google it.
Google that bitch. Just kidding. If you want to know.
Google it.
Okay.
You could also move to Mexico to start your own business, but the biggest help would be to have fluency in Spanish to build clientele. You could buy an existing business and hire a translator, buy a retirement home or apartment, a funeral home, restaurant or hotel, or anything tourist related. This is not very realistic for most of us who are listening. Like, you can't just go out and just buy a funeral home.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what if it's cheap? Shit. You never know. What if your savings is that and then you want to invest in it?
But then you do have to, like, how are you going to run that shit? Like, as somebody who doesn't speak Spanish, you'd have to hire a translator. But then that translator could fuck you over.
But yeah, just, find somebody. Hopefully, you would only do that in knowing somebody that knows the place or lives there, I would say, that can help you out.
Yeah. This is another option through all the research that I looked at. You can open a spiritual center, such as a yoga studio, in many tourist areas, such as like Cancun. You will never be out of work, especially if your building offers amenities such as a washer, dryer, shower, and just has like a generally clean space. A lot of local residents don't always have that. So if you try to like work with them to hold space for mental well-being, I would say that you would make a lot of money here, especially if you have a yoga studio on the beach. Like you would make pretty good money because you'd never be out of class. But it also depends on the season though. So I know that there's
For sure.
I know there's slow seasons to any tourist town, so I guess you would see a slowdown. But you would still have locals who would come. But you would probably make most of your money off of the tourists.
Yeah, especially if the tourists come in and take over where the locals will be like, they'll be all mad, like, oh, like, I want that spot.
Another job option is becoming a taxi. Many people in Mexico do not own cars, and becoming a taxi is a great way to earn a living there. The only disadvantage is this may not be a very safe job for women.
I wouldn't do it.
I would not do it.
It doesn't even have to tell me it wasn't any safe.
Hell!
Hell no.
Oh my god!
Oh, hell no!
And number 10 in this whole list is owning an Airbnb in a desirable location.
Oh.
If you become a permanent resident of Mexico, it will be very easy to coordinate with cleaning services to your home while you manage your properties. It is also best to have a part-time job when owning an Airbnb, as there are off seasons to any location when renting is not sought after. These are current jobs in Merida that are not any of those things that I just talked about. Pet grooming, personal chef, organizer and cleaner, okay? Tutoring, shop owner, temp employee, computer repairman, an event planner, a caterer, and a child care business like a daycare, preschool, and also house painting and maintenance services. It is generally considered safe to move to Merida in Mexico as an American. Average cost for healthcare is around 18 to 25 US dollars. Most doctor visits are around $20, which is 400 pesos. Most surgeries in Mexico are 1/3 of the cost of what you would find in the USA.
That's why girls be going for them BBLs. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I wish. Turkey. Just kidding. I don't need a BBL, but I need a boob lift.
I don't want anything.
I want everything. Before we go into our next country, we're going to talk about just some interesting facts about Mexico before we end it here. So, Mexico's official name was actually the United Mexican States. I did not know that.
Huh.
Mexico had a nickname under the rule of Spain. It was known as New Spain for a long time. back in like the 1600s. The national symbol for Mexico is a golden eagle standing on a cactus.
Okay. I didn't know that.
It's kind of cool.
I didn't know that.
Guess where birth control was invented?
Turkey.
Mexico.
I'm just kidding.
That birth control was created in Mexico. They were like, we gotta find a fucking solution to this shit. Cholula is the oldest city in Mexico, and it was established between 800 and 200 BC.
Ooh, that's where El Chupacabra is.
Yeah. Go! I want to go to the oldest city in Mexico.
I don't know if it's actually there, but I bet money that motherfucker has some story there.
And I would love to explore different parts of Mexico and to experience their culture. I feel like it would be so incredible.
That cruise.
I want to go. I did not know this. Aztec people were wiped out from diseases brought by the Spaniards. But I have seen TikTok videos that they say that that the Aztecs were destroyed by like an asteroid or something, but I don't
No, I don't know.
I'd have to look more into that, but
Oh, no. I'm gonna ship up.
what does it mean? Tomatoes originated in Mexico.
No. Okay.
Oh my god, I did not know this. This is so interesting. Tamale? They're 8,000 years old. They are dubbed as a food of the gods in Aztec and Mayan cultures. That's awesome.
Oh,
It makes me
that
want
is
to.
really cool.
It makes me want to eat a tamale because, like, I feel like I've never had a really good one.
Yeah.
I need to have like
I
an
don't know
authentic
for
one.
Indian. Yeah, I think I had one time, and it was in a Mexican restaurant, and I don't think it was authentic.
I
But
want to have an authentic
I think
tamale.
you're supposed to eat the husk, the corn husk. It's a corn husk, right?
I don't know.
That's what it is. It's made out of like a corn husk or something.
Huh.
My friend, she has like told me about this stuff.
We're looking it up right now.
It's made out of like they like bake it in like a husk or something.
Tamale is a masa dough which is typically made from ground corn and filling. The masa is wrapped in corn husk or banana leaf and steamed.
Huh.
Interesting. It normally includes meats and cheeses.
So you're not so supposed to eat the like banana leaf or the what did I say?
Yeah.
What's it called? What did I call?
The corn husk.
Yeah, so they bake it in that. But
Very cool.
you don't eat that part, I don't think. So.
No, very cool. It probably gives it such a really good flavor. I feel like I've never had a good one. I had one a long time ago. But damn, now I want to get one like soon.
You would when you go to Mexico, get one. Don't get it from Ohio. Oh, from Ohio.
Get it from Ohio. Holy shit.
The U.S. at that. Maybe get it to a closer state to Mexico. Maybe they'll have more authentic stuff there.
Then the color TV was invented in Mexico in 1941. Pretty cool accomplishment. Mexican children do not typically receive gifts on Christmas Day. They receive their gifts on January 6th, known as Three Wise Men's Day. I did not know that. Mexico encompasses 62 indigenous tribes that spread across 18 states.
That's really cool, actually. It's my most favorite fact.
That's the second highest number of museums in the world, second to London. But I would assume that this is for money laundering reasons. Because you can put a price on any art. You could probably move so much drugs.
I mean, I don't know.
I believe it. I believe it.
Connects it to that. I don't know.
I watched this TikTok one time that says that like museums are probably the place where money is laundered the most because people can put a price on any picture. They can move that picture or art any way covertly. So they can move that like with a whole ass truck. And they can sell that painting for like $1.2 billion. What do you think is connected to that painting? Maybe like 300 million pounds of fucking drugs? Like,
I thought of it that way.
oh, I've always thought of that now ever since I saw that one TikTok change my life.
Yeah, I mean, once you hear or see something, it changes you for sure.
Yeah, that stuck with me. The last fact is Mexico is home to 30 pyramids, which I did not know that.
Like those little Inca temples.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Incas and the Aztecs and the Mayas. The Mayans.
All of the temples.
Alright, now that we are done with Mexico, we're going to get into South America. And I'm also going to have another drink.
Drink up, darling. Drink up.
Cheers. But now we're going to get into specifically what it would be like to live in Argentina. We're going to look into the culture of Buenos Aires.
Oh, SpongeBob, sorry.
Buenos Aires is known as having a vibrant city. They are known as a fusion of European elegance and deep Latin roots. Streets are normally very busy with live tango music. Argentine coffee is very flavorful, and it's something that locals tend to love. There are a lot of Italian, Spanish, and German speakers here. If you love nature and the outdoors, if you're a remote worker, if you are retired with a stable pension from a foreign sourced income, then this place is a great place for you. You will need to learn a second language if you haven't already. A majority of speakers in Argentina are Spanish speaking. There is a free 90-day visa for tourists, a 6-month visa for nomad visas, and a 2-year visa option for people in the USA wanting to live there for a short period of time. The cost of living is very low with the American dollar. There's very affordable health care. There is a lot of entertainment here, such as live music, theaters, galleries, orchestras, operas. They say that Buenos Aires is very comparable to New York, and there are a lot of sights to see, and there's a lot of things to do. Buenos Aires is the second safest city in South America, and the safest city in South America is also in Argentina. It's in Ushuaia. Is it Ushuaia? I can't say it.
Ushuaia.
Ushuaia. Probably saying it wrong, but I tried. I tried. So now we are going to get into some cons for living in South America as an American. Some cons are economic inflation, inflation of the South American culture, high taxes, business hours varies for businesses, and it's really not always true to what they put on their storefront or their online stuff. So you can see a business be like, oh, this restaurant says it's open, it closes at 5. And then you go there at like 3 o'clock and they're closed.
Because they didn't have enough business.
Yeah, business hours vary depending on even what's online. It is known to have a very slow culture here, and being on time is not considered a big part of society. Most people are late for appointments.
Huh. Weird.
There's also a busy nightlife, and living in the inner city, you may have trouble sleeping if you are a light sleeper because there can be street performances and dances late into the night.
Not a city girl.
Public transport is also not very efficient and is considered to be late at the time. So you could like be waiting for a bus for like an hour or something.
I hate that.
Now let's talk about money. $1 in Argentina is 350 pesos. And $1 on the black market, which is the blue dollar, is 950 Argentine pesos. The average cost of living in Buenos Aires is around $300 to $700 monthly. A good bottle of wine can cost like $7 to $10. A one-bedroom apartment is typically $250 a month. Wouldn't it be nice?
It is nice.
If a fucking one-bedroom apartment would be $250
This is
a month.
$250 a month. I wouldn't know. We pay $125 each. What the fuck? I'd shit myself. I would be living the dream. I'd be traveling even more. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, I would too.
What the
I'd be out every weekend.
Oh, dude, I'd be out all the time.
Internet is typically $15 a month here.
So much I pay for my bill.
Lucky.
$15 a month, baby.
With who?
Spectrum.
Oh yeah, you have that deal.
But also, he just paid off the rest of my phone that I owed on him for Christmas.
That's nice.
So that's just like the payment for the service.
Healthcare in Argentina is free for citizens and non-citizens. It is fully funded by the government. There are no fees for hospital visits, emergency care, and specialized treatments such as like a plastic surgery does cost like they'll charge you something basically. Each province, country, city, I guess. I don't know. I'm not saying this right. Each province in Argentina is responsible for managing their own public health care. So basically, public health care varies with the quality depending on where you live. While healthcare is free, there's also very long wait times for what they consider to be a non-emergency. All hospitals are Spanish-speaking employees, and if you are unable to communicate in their language, it can be very difficult to get to the root of the issue. Private healthcare is often very good with short wait times, but there are high fees associated with private healthcare. If you were to try to find a job in Argentina, you would need to be able to speak Spanish fluently, and you would also need a DNI or a national identification number in Spanish, which means that you would have to register with the National Identity Database to get your number. Many language schools are looking for English speakers to teach to children and adults, and they do not always require a certification. So you can just teach English without having any sort of training. It said, look on Facebook for groups such as Expats of Argentina or look on Reddit. Because you will find basically a lot of people telling you some real options for work. And what are expats again? They're expatriates?
Yeah, the people that live out of the country that they like their homeland for an extended period of time for work, retirement, or permanent. So basically, people that are staying there for a long, long period of time, not just 90 days, not just, a year.
They're establishing permanent residency.
People know them for sure.
Working as a freelancer is also an option. Tourism companies typically hire English-speaking people, but hours are limited depending on the season. They might only be hiring temporary workers, and they're not hiring full-time, like guaranteed work for like a whole year. They might let you go in the fall or in the spring. Who knows? And you also would probably need to learn Spanish fluently or get a good idea of how other people are communicating in order to get a job at any local business or storefront. Public university is free, although private universities do normally have like some tuition fees, but it's typically more affordable than it is in the US or Europe. Private colleges can be like $5,000 to $1,500 per year, which is basically the same as the US. But I mean, $5,000 compared to like 20,000 is pretty nice.
Nice.
Now we're going to, before we end the South American country, we're going to get into some facts. The unsafest places for an American to live in South America is Venezuela, Colombia, and Guyana. And it's known for its high crime rates of terrorism and armed groups against innocent people. So I don't recommend going to Colombia for a vacation anytime soon. The Amazon rainforest is located in South America and is home to many indigenous tribes who have had little to no contact with the modern world.
Yeah,
That's
scary.
Crazy.
I know. I've heard about a lot of these tribes. One of them was cannibal.
Yeah, there are some wild motherfuckers out there.
You've heard about that cannibal tribe?
Mm-hmm.
I know. I think we've talked about it before, but
This one was so funny. I could not put it down. Paraguay holds the world record for the world's longest hot dog.
hot dog. Who cares to make a wiener like that? Like, what's the big deal about the wiener? Ask me about my wiener.
What's the big deal about this wiener?
Ask me about my wiener.
This one time at band camp, I shoved a flute up my wiener.
I flew up my wiener. That was good.
The Amazon rainforest is the largest tropical rainforest in the northern South American hemisphere and covers 2.3 million acres. South America is home to the green anaconda, which is the world's largest snake.
I did know that fact.
You know, I know who the world's largest snake is.
Do you?
My ex-boyfriend. Just
I'm not a snake at all.
kidding.
You're a beautiful butterfly.
She was a fan. There are 12 countries in South America. It is also known that there are 12 countries in South America, and it is known that they have the highest language diversity in all of the world. Languages such as English, German, Italian, Arabic, French, Chinese, Ukrainian, Japanese, and Dutch. There are a lot of Italians, apparently, in Argentina. And on the 29th of the month, Italians will eat gnocchi. And this is a tradition that has been going on since the 19th century. But most restaurants, even Mexican restaurants in Argentina, will serve gnocchi on the 29th in respect to the Italian traditions. And the story behind this is on the 29th of the month, it was typically the day when people were the poorest because it was the day before people got paid. Gnocchi was a cheap yet filling meal that they enjoyed. So, in order to save money, they would eat gnocchi on the 29th so they would be full until the next day.
Okay.
Very interesting, but I didn't know that.
That is great. That's interesting.
South America is known for its wide range of topography. It's home to the Amazon rainforest and the Atacama Desert, so it has one of the driest places in the world and one of the most
What?
yeah, one of the most wet places.
You didn't want to say what, did you? You gotta go
Water is not wet.
until you make it wet. No, it makes sense, but we will go with it.
Bolivia is larger than the state of Texas and California combined, and there is no McDonald's in the entire country.
Oh yeah, good for them.
Good for them, yeah. This was so interesting. Pink dolphins can be found in the river basins in Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela, and Guyana.
Awesome.
Pink dolphins? I didn't know.
Maybe because of the where they're at makes them pink.
I would have to look it up, but it's something to do with the environment, I assume for sure.
Always is.
And Venezuela has a crazy lightning phenomenon. In Venezuela, a unique meteorological phenomenon called the Catatumbo lightning occurs. It's at the point where the river Catatumbo meets Lake Maracaibo. Oh my god, I'm probably butchering this so bad. Lightning can strike the lake approximately about continuously for 10 hours at a time, and the phenomena can last for up to 160 days, where lightning is just hitting the same spot over and over again.
That's cool though.
But
I want to see a video of it.
I want to see it. Look it up on TikTok.
Look it up on the talk tick.
All right, that's it for South America. I thought that shit was super interesting. I am loving this. But now we're going to go into European countries. First, we're going to look at what it would be like to move to Italy. Then we're going to talk about the UK and Greenland. So, would you ever want to move to Tuscany? Because the residentialita of Montagna 2024, I don't know what this is. It's like a policy. But basically, it is something that the government there is trying to lure new residents in by granting 10 to 32,000 USA dollars to help with the cost of purchasing and renovating a home. And there are 76 towns to choose from in Tuscany.
Really?
The average cost for a home is around $160,000. Tuscany is experiencing severe population decline. There are about 6,000 abandoned villages around the country, and the number of deaths outweighed their births by 320,000. People are just not having children, whether it's due to preference or age.
Preference.
Well, I mean, the average age right now for the Italians in Tuscany is 47.
That's crazy.
So at 47, 1 in 5 people are 47 years old.
Bunch of old motherfuckers out there.
You're not
I'm
having
just kidding,
kids.
you're not old. That's not old. I'm totally joking. My mom's 50 and she's very young. I wouldn't say that's old. Old is like 90. Sorry,
It is easy. Sorry. Is it easy to get citizenship in Italy? Honestly, no, it's not. You can get citizenship easily if you can prove that you are linked to an ancestor from Italy. Citizenship is granted if you marry an Italian, but you have to be living there for 2 years. The most complex way through residency is naturalization. Pros: all you need is time. Cons: it can take almost a decade.
Really? A decade?
Yeah.
To like get citizenship?
The Italian government can, even after all of that time, reject your application and deem you as a security risk. So you can do all that work for nothing.
I feel like how often does that really happen though?
I don't know. Look on Reddit. Apparently, this process takes very long to do it the naturalization way. You should just consider dual citizenship. If you have dual citizenship, it allows you to get an Italian passport. You won't have to pay any taxes on any income that you earn outside of the country. But the cons are, if your parents became U.S. citizens before 1992, then you lost your rights to dual citizenship. So that's basically all of us.
It's gone. Out the door.
Is it easy to get a job in Tuscany? Self-employed or working remotely can be very good options if you are good at networking. Big advantages are most companies allow English speakers, especially in tourist areas. Hotels such as bed and breakfast, vacation villas are always looking for English workers. Teaching English classes in schools or online is pretty easy. You would also just need a TEFL certification. Sorry, it's a TEFL license. That's what I put. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the certification, but I swear I think it's the license. But typically private lessons are charged $30 an hour. And if you're doing multiple people at once, you can make pretty good money.
Okay. That'd be a lot of money.
If there's like people. Real estate agencies are always looking for English speakers. Look into Toscana houses. Apparently, they're always hiring. But you also would have to go through classes and do what's required to do this in Italy. Living in Tuscany is typically expensive, but if you have a good paying job, you can get by comfortably. Almost all healthcare is free in Italy. There's no premium for foreigners who work in Italy. Healthcare is paid for by the taxes of the residents, but private healthcare is not free and it's normally pretty expensive. College in Tuscany is $112 per year, and private colleges are $550 per year.
Oh wow.
You could live pretty happily around $2,000 to $2,800 a month in Tuscany, but I would say that's like basically what it is for the US.
I was just about to say it seems very similar.
Yeah,
I was thinking that. I was like,
that's literally the same.
I was just thinking that. Literally, like, I was just about to say that too.
But it would probably be more beautiful and much more slow paced and less stressful to live out there.
Also, the food.
Yeah, the food would be so much better for you.
That's the biggest thing, really.
Dude,
Actually, is the
I
food.
I was watching this TikTok of this girl who went to Vietnam and was staying there for a month, and she literally had a picture of her face before she went off the plane. Picture of her face when she returned home. Her face was like super puffy and like red and like almost like swollen looking. And then when she came back, her face was like super like pulled and like taut. And it was like she had lost weight, but she was like, I was walking everywhere. But she was like, I'm pretty sure it was the food because I had very little sugar. Just crazy to me.
I believe it.
Fun facts about Italy: Rome is over 2,000 years old. Around 28,000 USA dollars is thrown into the Trevi Fountain every year, and every year these coins are donated to charity. And you should note that if you visit Rome, you should stop and see the Trevi Fountain. I didn't know about this.
Isn't that where they make the wish and throw it back behind? That's that's in the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
Dude, that's actually one of the reasons why I would want to go to Rome is because of that fucking movie. Don't play games, bro. She literally made a wish with that. Paolo. Paolo. Oh god, that movie.
My childhood.
I want to be. Oh god, that's so funny. Everybody was here for Halloween this year, and then I was thinking about being it. I'm like, never mind. Not this year, no. I'm not coming, nobody. But yeah, no.
Love Lizzie
I don't
McGuire.
know. That's cool that they donate the money. I didn't know. You wonder because it's going to build up eventually.
Right. $28,000 every year. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
13 of Shakespeare's plays are set in Italy. Pinocchio was first published in an Italian newspaper before it became a Disney movie. The Sistine Chapel welcomes more than 20,000 visitors a day. It was painted by Michelangelo in 1512.
Oh, Michelangelo.
Yeah. Italy is home to 3 active volcanoes. Mount Etna last erupted in 2021. There's Mount Stromboli near Sicily. Then there's Mount Vesuvius in Naples, which has been dormant since 1944. A visit to Pompeii can show you how devastating the effects of the 76 AD eruption was. Always wanted to go to Pompeii.
Pompeii, Italy.
The Vatican City is the world's smallest country of 1,000 acres. Italy has 15,000 lakes. Italy also has the oldest population in Europe. An average age in Italy is 45, and it is estimated that the national average will be 54 by 2050. That's like 1 in 5 people.
That's crazy. It is insane. I would think how old everybody will be, like average, like older people.
Yeah. Sardinia is one of the places in the world where residents tend to live the longest, but birth rates are very low. Longevity is contributed to their diet because they are essentially living off the land here, and most markets grow their fruits and vegetables from their own gardens in their backyard.
That would be nice. I wish we had a really like that.
Yeah.
A little horse riding into town.
Sounds beautiful.
Riding horse into town, not picking up a McDonald's, but you pick up, stuff that you gotta make.
Batteries were invented in Italy. The first bank.
Batteries.
The first bank was started in Italy in 1149. Italians invented glasses. Pizza was invented in Naples. Makes me want to go to Naples and try pizza there. It's probably the best pizza ever.
I bet. I love Italian pizza. It's good. A lot of cruise ships have Italian pizza. I just know that.
Italians are also known for their coffee consumption. They consume about 14 billion cups of espresso each year, but do not order a cappuccino or coffee after 11 a.m. in Italy. It is noted that this is a breakfast drink and that locals may look at you funny. You're like, who's this fucking bitch? Ordering a coffee at 11:01? Can't believe her.
I usually get mine in the morning anyway.
I drink coffees late because I'm a parent. This was interesting. Italians eat salad as dessert, and a lot of Italian salads are infused with fruits. I did not know that.
Yeah, and I also have known that like they eat a lot of pasta, obviously, and we think pasta as like a quick meal, but theirs is like all the time.
But they make the pasta like from scratch.
The good quality pasta.
I've always wanted to make pasta from scratch, but I just don't have all the tools.
I mean, if I had more room, I would do it for sure. At the end of the day.
All right, well, that ends our discussion on Italy. We're going to now basically get into what it would be like if you wanted to move to the UK. Cost of living in the UK is typically like $2,200 a month. Rent can be as little as $1,300 a month. That's a lot. If that's the cheapest, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
The application for Britain citizenship can take 3 to 6 months. It also can take 6 months to a year. The UK has free healthcare. There are no work restrictions for working in the UK for like the first 6 months, apparently. You do have to pass an English test unless you meet an exemption. You also have to be of good character. But the exemption from the language test depends on your age and physical or mental health condition. You also have to be 18 years or older to apply and not have any serious criminal record, not broken any immigration laws while visiting the UK, and you also have to pass your English test. Most colleges in the UK are free for residents. The University of Glasgow was founded in 1451 and is known as an esteemed college around the world, and it is free for residents of the UK and Scotland. There's also other colleges that have free tuition fees, such as the University of Plymouth, the University of Cambridge, and the Buckinghamshire New University.
I've heard of Cambridge.
It's not the Buckinghamshire. It's the Buckinghamshire.
I've heard of Plymouth, Cambridge too. I never knew that was in another. I thought that was in the U.S.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Cambridge.
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 I said it in an English accent. Cambridge.
Cambridge. Sorry, we're probably ruining your guys' accent. I'm sorry. What are some perks of working in the UK? Did you know that people in the UK who work full-time get 28 days of paid holiday off per year? And this is a legal requirement to any job that offers full-time work. To live and work in the UK, you will need a work visa. And a lot of companies hire American workers, such as the following: Netflix, Hilton Hotel, Microsoft, Amazon, banks, sales company, and Land Rover and Jaguar, which is an automotive company. They're always looking for factory workers. Manchester is noted as a great place to live. Oasis, the Stone Roses, and the Smiths all came from here, which is awesome.
That is cool.
Cambridge is also known as a very safe place to live. It's noted as a very beautiful and clean city. London offers a lot of work, but it is very expensive. Edinburgh, which is the capital of Scotland, is a world-renowned city for its beautiful and very affordable transportation. It is also very efficient and it's not very expensive. Before we end with the UK, we're going to talk about the interesting facts, which seem to be literally my favorite part of this whole thing. But the interesting facts start with tea is the most popular drink among Brits. It is estimated that they drink 165 million cups of tea every day.
Like an average total, everybody living there.
Everybody's having tea, every day.
Instead of coffee. Tea's good for you though.
I wish I liked tea, but I'm a coffee drinker.
I like some teas though with honey.
I do like my tea, but more in the winter, not in the summer. But every day?
No, not every day. Just when I'm not feeling good or if I want to boost my immune.
Yeah. Or, honestly, in the fall, I do like my tea. I do. I like to have, my chai or, a lemon tea.
But
I do like it. Did you know that the first postage stamp was created in the UK in 1840? I didn't know that. Did you know that although most people consider that the pyramids of Egypt are the oldest objects in the world, the Stonehenge monument in the UK is actually the oldest monument in the world.
The Stonehenge?
Yeah.
What is that? Those stones that go in a circle?
Yeah.
That's what that is?
Yeah, that's the oldest.
I know what that is. I think I knew that. Shit. I mean, it's in that movie Brave.
Yeah. Golf was invented in Scotland. Idiots.
It was?
They just want to fucking hit a ball around.
They like hitting balls far away.
Typical food in the UK is roast beef and Yorkshire beef.
Ew. Ew.
Also, chicken tikka is an Indian recipe, but it's also one of their top national dishes, which is crazy.
Honestly, all that sounds good. I love food.
I want all of it. The UK is linked to a European continental land through a channel tunnel. It is about 21 miles underground and is the second largest underground tunnel. It connects England to It connects the city of Dover to the city of Calais in France. I don't know, I'm probably saying it wrong, sorry.
That'd be scary to go underneath there.
Queen Elizabeth was the longest reigning queen in the world. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
The Windsor Castle is the oldest royal residence in the UK. And the last thing we have is in August of 1896, the United Kingdom and Zanzibar fought for 40 minutes, being the shortest war fought in history.
Oh, wow. 40 minutes. I said, we're done with this shit. Let's go take a break, boys.
We are going to take a look into Greenland before we end it here for today. But it is noted that moving to Greenland is not very difficult, but it is very hard to maintain a stable job unless you move there while working remotely. But you would need a work permit to move here. And if you are over 60 years old, you can actually apply here if you are retired with a good pension. You can also get a study permit if you are enrolled in a full-time schooling program. Living is expensive in Greenland due to its isolated location. The cost of food is high due to the tax rate. Healthcare and education are free for all residents, so that's good. Living in Greenland is very rich with cultural heritage because a lot of the families who have lived in Greenland have lived there for thousands of years. And the official languages of Greenland are Greenlandic and Danish.
What the fuck? Greenlandic.
Greenlandic.
I understand Danish. I have Dutch in me.
Dutch. I'm a Russian, French, and Polish.
I got other stuff in me. We're all mutts here.
I got other stuff in me too.
America's peoples is from the Europeans too.
It would be in your best interest if you were familiar with Greenlandic or Danish languages before moving there. That is just a fun fact. Also, climate in Greenland is very difficult to adjust to. In Greenland, their sharks are known as the longest living vertebrates on Earth. Researchers use radiocarbon dating to determine their ages, and they estimated that one of the females was about 400 years old, which is really cool.
That's crazy.
Greenland is the world's largest island.
Well, it's island, but it's also a country.
Yep. 80% of the land mass is covered by an ice cap.
Because Greenland is ice.
Yep.
And Iceland is green, motherfuckers.
And the reason why is Eric the Red named Greenland, even though the land is mostly an Arctic nation, in hopes of attracting more settlers. Greenland was very green about 2.5 million years ago. It is also considered one of the most ancient natural habitats in the world, with lots of cryogenically frozen animals beneath the surface.
Shit. Imagine if it was all on thaw and it was a big motherfucking animal. I'm just kidding.
No, like probably like an ancient shark, and it like wakes up. That'd be crazy.
Like that movie Ice Age, whenever the little fish thaw out. Okay, we're getting deep. Alright.
Beneath the island of Greenland, before it breaks off into the ocean, there are 2 miles of ice underneath of the island.
I wonder how long it takes. I mean, everything's melting.
Not Greenland.
Obviously, it's not got there yet.
88% of Greenland's population is a mix of Inuit and Danish descent. This was a super interesting fact. There are no roads that connect the towns to each other. There are roads within each town, but at the end of the outskirts of the town, you will either need to go to an airport or travel by boat or helicopter. But locals get from town to town by dog sled or snowmobiles.
I mean, I either like it, love it, or you fucking hate it.
I would love to do a dog sled, but I wonder if I would hate that if I
But if it was consistent.
Yeah.
You might get tired of it. It's like you love it, like it, or you fucking hate it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. Fishing is the biggest industry in Greenland, and you would never be out of a job if you just wanted to be a fisherman.
A lot of burps on this podcast, and I just want to officially kind of apologize, but not apologize. But
I'm not sorry.
kiss.
We're drinking, okay? We are drinking.
Barely. I had 2 Trulies, but they make me burp.
I had 3.
They make me burp.
Hey.
I don't burp a lot, actually. So this is crazy.
Yeah. You're welcome for all of them.
All right. Anyway, continue with the facts. Just wanted to put that in there.
Last fact, super interesting. Every year, the sun does not set from May 25th until July 25th. The sun stays visible throughout the entire day and night. Locals celebrate June 21st as the solstice of the longest day of the year as a national holiday, and most businesses are closed. Families will have a barbecue out in the sun or take a walk in nature to celebrate.
If we had fucking 3 months of full daylight, or at least 3 months of all daylight, I mean, I could just wear a face mask. I would be good, dude. But hell yeah. Because I wouldn't be as sad. I mean, when it gets dark out, I'm like, oh, like,
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
oh yeah, I would. I wear a sleeping mask.
Oh my god, I could not sleep if it was just sunny outside.
And you're just gonna put dark. That's what they do in Alaska. They put dark drapes in their room.
But it would just mess up with my circadian rhythm.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes,
You
it
wouldn't
would.
know. Like it's like you wouldn't know. Like the sun wouldn't
But like
bother you.
I used to work third shift, and like when it was like daytime, like my brain like wouldn't let me sleep. It was like the sun's out, it's time to go do stuff. Like time to sleep.
But if you're constantly, you wouldn't know what you would do if you're in constant daylight.
I guess I wouldn't know because I'm not in that culture.
Yeah. So like maybe like with what you're saying, I get that. Like you are already been up all night and then you say daylight, but it's not all the time, right? So
I just think that's super interesting. I did not know. So like, what if you were like vacationing in Greenland during that time?
maybe I mean you would be able to test it out and see how you felt.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, wait, what's happening? Like,
Because you were working at night and you seen the darkness.
Yeah.
So therefore, when you got home, you seen the light and you felt weird because you were just there all there in the dark, and that's when everyone's sleeping. Whereas when it's always sunny, I saw some video of someone saying they do some shit that would normally be in the middle of the night, and they go do it because it's during you don't time isn't a thing because
it would be cool.
What's that place where time isn't a thing because it's like
Another dimension.
oh my god, never mind. This ignore me. But I told you about this video before. Anyway.
This has been a really long episode, and we're going to be very honest here. We did not know that this episode was going to take this long. So we are now going to be doing a part 2. So next on our future episode, we're going to be covering what it would be like to live in Africa, to live in Asia. We're also going to talk about Australia and Antarctica. So
China, Thailand,
Japan, Mauritius, and then basically what Antarctica is, and then we're going to talk about Australia. So we just want to say thank you for supporting our podcast, for listening. If you have endured this episode with all of the burping and all of the interesting facts, I really truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you want to stick around because we're gonna be talking about some weird shit on this next episode. Dude, I can't wait to get into Shanghai and talk about like living in Japan. Like there are really cool, interesting stuff about these places.
No, yeah, I'm excited.
And I just can't wait to share this with you.
I'm excited for you guys to learn more.
And if you want to give us feedback, you can always email chatterboxcorner@gmail.com. We would love to hear your feedback. We would also love to just hear, if you
The
just
back
have,
of the feed. Give us the back of the feed.
back of the feed. If you could just give us some ideas, if you could say, hey, maybe you guys could incorporate this into your podcast, we would love to just be open-minded to new things. So we appreciate you listening, and we hope you keep it chatty, keep it nice, keep it sweet, because We're not going to be keeping this short, obviously.
No, we won't. Oh my gosh, this is great. If you like it, you better love it. Like I said earlier, like it, love it, or fucking hate it.
Yeah.
That's the new motto.
Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. We don't fucking care. Just give us something, okay?
Hey, anything is good.
Anything is good. We need interaction with our platform. We love you guys. Keep on being chatty
and sweet.
Yes.
Bye.